Hello and welcome to another video getting to know me in the hopes of getting to know you. So I wanna hear your comments, so make sure to leave them down below. This week's video is about sad movies. I'm appropriately wearing blue, cause I'm blue. I am splitting this up between live action movies and animated movies. So I'm gonna do 10 live action movies that make me cry, and I'm gonna do 10 animated movies that make me cry. So these are just personal to me, that make me cry, and so I wanna hear which ones like strike a chord with you, and especially ones that make you cry. Ugly cry. These are not in any particular order. I will say the ones that are closer to the top, closer to the end of the video, are the ones that I like the most. But other than that, I'll explain why they make me cry, but they're not really in any particular order. If I didn't say so already, spoilers! We will start with one that many people my age will probably relate to. My Girl, starring Macaulay Culkin and Anna Chlumsky. Anna Chlumsky. There we go. Hard to say. And that was from 1991. My Girl is a story of the first coming of age, like kid love. They're like 11 or 12 or something like that. Macaulay Culkin gets stung by a bee and he's allergic to bees and he dies. And then because Veda's dad is the undertaker, mortician at the funeral home, funeral director. He's in the casket and she sees him and she's crying and it's the worst. Next up, The Notebook, The Lover and Me. This one makes me cry because they go together holding hands in bed, and and then the dementia is just so heartbreaking and romantic but sad. I'm glad I'm not currently in a bad mood because making this video would make me cry, but it's not gonna because I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna lump the next two together as a Leonardo DiCaprio double feature. We got Titanic. We got Romeo and Juliet. I'm sorry, Romeo plus Juliet. Obviously, if you were my age, I will not speak to my age. If you know, you know. But if you're around my age and you grew up with Leo as the guy, these two movies, I remember crying in the movie theater to Titanic like 3 or 4 times, and that was a lot to sit through as a high schooler. And then Romeo and Juliet, just the dry heaving is what gets me in a lot of these. And Claire Danes with the quivering bottom lip. And the next up is a kids movie that is just, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, my God, this is heavy for children. The Never-Ending Story. We have bullying in the real world and like really scary school and weird family issues. And then in Fantasia, we have the nothing. We have the swamp of sadness. We have the wolf. Artex the horse sinks into the swamp of sadness because the horse is sad. Artex. The only thing that redeems that movie is that we see Artex and everybody else again at the end. But the big rock monster, these hands are so big, but I couldn't hold on to my friends because the nothingness took them away. Oh my God. As much as I'm on the fence about this next movie, and I will talk about that in another video, the next one that makes me cry is Les Mis, or Les Miserables. Les Miserables. The emotions, again, with the dry heaving. Again, with the dry heaving. It gets me every time. And Anne Hathaway does such a great job. And the when I hear other people crying legitimately in what they do, I don't need to, it doesn't matter if they're tears or not, but if I hear them like that choked upness, that I think that's what gets me in these movies sometimes. Also with Les Mis, the ending with Jean Valjean passing, and the daughter is crying. Cosette, I just didn't brush up on their names beforehand. I know all their names. At the end, when Jean Valjean is dying and Cosette is over there crying and Fantine is taking him into the afterlife, that one gets me. That part gets me mainly because the daughter-father relationship, and I'm just really close to my dad. Not that I'm not close to my mom. She's my best friend, but it just, it just makes me cry. Next up was a product of its time. City of Angels. I'm not saying this is a good movie. I will say that I cried, ugly cried, all the way from the movie theater to the parking lot in the car ride home in high school when I watched this movie. I think it was the Sarah McLachlan Angel song, and then Meg Ryan's stupidity while bike riding. Stupid woman. So City of Angels is one that got me, regardless of Nicolas Cage and his weird not blinking angel. Watch it again. He doesn't blink. It's a fact. He chose takes that he didn't blink. That's hard to do. Now I'm gonna cry for real. These next two movies are similar in theme, and it involves the father. One's a father-son, one's a father. No, they're both father-son relationships. But Jesus. So both of them involve dads passing away. One of them I like more than the other, so I'll go with the one I don't like as much first, and that is About Time. You'd think from the poster, it's a nice little rom-com about time travel, and he uses it to get the girl, and it's all cute and stuff, but no, it's about time travel, and it's about his relationship with his dad throughout life and how it changes because he inherits his time travel ability from the dad, and so they meet several times throughout the life in different times, kind of like a Doctor Who sort of thing. But it makes it so the son, stop being crazy, please. So because they meet several different times throughout their lives, the son has to basically say goodbye to his dying father 3 separate times because of the way that they meet. It's like, oh, it's his last time saying goodbye. Oh, now it's his last time saying goodbye. Now this time they actually have a conversation about him dying. And it's just like, enough already. I didn't bring tissues to the theater for this. I was expecting a rom-com, and I ended up snot and crying and like having to run to the bathroom after the movie ended because I was just disgusting. Ugly cry for real. However, I've only seen the movie once because I'm scared off because of this waterfall of emotion. So it's not a movie that I would want to watch again enough. So I didn't like it enough to watch it again despite me being emotionally distraught afterward. The next one I actually enjoy a bit more, and I've seen a couple times, and I'll watch up until the end because I like the majority of the movie up until the bittersweet passing of the father in Big Fish. I like Tim Burton to an extent, and before like he got into the Alice in Wonderland sort of thing. And it's fun and it's charming, and Ewan McGregor's great in it, and all of the other circus carnival characters are very fun in it, and it's very romantic and very sweet. But the end, when the dad actually dies and the son is like telling him a story about his passing and how he turns into a fish, it's just so bittersweet. And it's just, I can't hang on to. I even saw the musical on stage, like a touring company, and I even brought tissues, and I was still sobbing in the theater, just like, I just have a hard time with that movie. But I will watch it up until the end, because up until then it's a joyful, whimsical, fun ride, and it's really fun to watch, and I love Tim Burton's style. Lastly, the movie that I watched the most, but it makes me cry, but I still love it. It's one of my favorites of all time, is Moulin Rouge. It's not the fact that Nicole Kidman's Satine dies in this movie. It's Ewan McGregor's Christian's reaction to her dying, and it's all Ewan McGregor, to be honest. First of all, I love the movie, so I'm so super invested in it to begin with. And then on top of that, the drama, the acting, Ewan McGregor, when he goes up on stage and she's like, toward the end, he's on stage and he throws money at her feet and she's kind of dying and hacking up a lung. And he's like, "Thank you for curing me of my ridiculous obsession with love." And he throws the money at her feet and he's like, and he's like walking out. I'm just like, I love it so much. I'm ridiculous. And then they get together, so you get like a little like, oh, is there hope? Is there hope? And she dies. Like we all knew she was going to, because he told us at the beginning. And she dies. And he's sitting there sobbing like from his guts. And it's just heartbreaking. And it just gets me. And I love the musical theater aspect of that, and just the glamour and just all of the drama of that movie. So the emotional drama, I buy into it and it gets me, and I cry 99% of the time I watch that movie. That's it for my list of 10 live action movies that make me cry. So I want to hear from you. What movies, live action this time, we'll do animated another time, what movies make you cry? What strikes a chord with you and brings you all the feels? Also, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get to know when my next video is. I'm going to do my 10 animated movies that make me cry next, I believe. So stick around for that. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.